What up YouTube, it's your boy Will Rider back at you with another video, and today we are going to finish up what we started yesterday. I have this bar of aluminum from Alcoa, somewhere in New York. It's 2024, and I think the T351 means it wasn't tempered or straightened after it was made. So this is where I'm going to cut. Got the lines cut 4 inches exactly, just as wide as the jaws are. And after I'm done with that one, we're going to make the aluminum jaws for this smaller vise I use in the table saw with this stock that I found somewhere years ago. I think someone was trying to make shelves out of it or something. I had four chunks of that. But we're going to go cut this first, and because I wasn't sure how hot the aluminum was, I decided to clamp it down. Just in case it started burning, I could remove my fingers and the piece of stock wouldn't go sideways and come flying at my face. Pretty good with this table saw. It got a perfect line on it, and you can see the that polished finish on it. Nice, good finish. So this is where I screwed up. The red on the end there is supposed to be on the other end, so I'm going to cut on the wrong side of this line, and therefore making the bar an 1/8 inch shorter than what it needs to be. I didn't realize this until after I took them all off and walked over to the bench and seen that one was shorter than the other. So I gotta take the old jaws out. And I think this is where I realized I cut it short and then figured it out. So I went and trimmed the other one down just as short as well. So now they're both the same size, just a little shorter than the original jaws. And this is how I'm marking the center. This little center punch thing fits perfectly inside the screw hole of the original jaw. So I know I'm making a good mark. Oh, and it really helps when you clamp down the chuck jaws. Yeah, that wasn't in there tight enough. So yeah, a quick touch off is all I was really looking to do. It's like a good center line or center mark for that. For the other holes at the drill. You see there's a little galling with the aluminum. It got stuck in there, but it cleared out really easily. So now I got some little marks there, and I know where the center of my hole needs to be. Now I'm just trying to figure out how big I should make the hole. It's 4600, so I think a 1/2 inch drill bit should give me plenty of clearance for the head of that bolt. And I do have a stop on the drill press, so I don't go all the way through or punch into my vise. This is just to fit the head of the bolt. I think it was a little more than 1/8, maybe 3/16 of material left, which is similar to the original jaws. And now I'm just figuring out the size of the hole that has to go in the center. 19/64, so drill bit size 5/16. In hindsight, you'll see a little later on, I should have went maybe not 3/8, but a little bigger than the 5/16 for this hole. And to make sure I don't punch a hole into my vise, I move the material over, but it's still supported on both sides. And all I have to do is unclamp that to punch the other hole. And because of the taper on these drill bits, it centers itself automatically. I don't have to worry about it being offset at all. And due to the burrs that were on both sides, I thought I'd give it a quick sand, knock the burrs down. I could have used a file, but I kind of wanted the entire surface to be uniform. You see it fits, but that one on the left there I'm tightening down now, it got kind of kinked in there a little bit. It was kind of tight. So next time I take these off, I am going to ream those out just a little bigger so it's easier to mount into the vise. It does close a little flat, and now that I'm seeing it from this angle as I'm doing the narration, it seems like the right side on the far end, or the close end, is a little higher than the other side. Might have to go fix that. So I'm just squaring off the edge here. This is for the smaller vise, and not being quite accurate with this one, obviously. Just looking and guesstimating and making my cut. I have to say, all these aluminum shavings all over me from the table saw, getting kind of awful. So this is where I'm making the width, and things got a little shady, and I didn't want to advertise the way I did this, so I cut that part out. But I cut it and I didn't die, and both pieces are exactly the same. So the idea here was because the new jaw is a little wider than the old jaw, was a super glue in place and use that, keep it there to drill the holes into it. But super glue didn't work, maybe because I didn't clean it well enough, or maybe the steel and aluminum they don't glue together well with that super glue. So I got these little brass clamps. I got these in Japan for something, and I use them quite often. They're quite handy, and they worked really well for what I was doing. And we're going to use the same bit we used before, because it centers itself, and just a little touch off, and then put some holes through it. I think this was a 1/4 inch for these screws. And you can see that looks like I have a little flex in the end there, so maybe there's a grip in the end there. So this is a countersink, and I just went down until there was a razor's edge down at the bottom, and then I knew that the screw would sit at least flush in there, because that's what the original looked like. And I checked with the flat piece of steel there to make sure it is sitting flush, and it was. Just cleaning up the burrs here instead of sanding, and that's what it turned out to be. I think it looks pretty good. Now it's time for the installation, and went in pretty easy. There was a point where I was thinking about making some vise jaws out of wood, but even use pretty hard wood, I was afraid that it would crack under the pressure, so I decided to go with aluminum. And I have some leather strips that I might make another set of these particular with some leather glue to them to make them even a little softer. And it's nice enough these fit together. One was higher than the other, on one side more particular than the other. So I took a file and flattened them out where it's smooth across the top. And it took a little longer than I thought, even though it was aluminum. It's just a finer file, fine enough where it almost gives it a polished look to the end there. It just takes a little more work. And that's pretty much it. I'm happy with the results. I'm just thinking about how to do a cross pattern on the CNC with the jaws to get a little more grip. I don't know if I'm going to like it smooth. We'll see in the future. Just taking off the that sharp edge on the top there before I cut myself. But if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. I appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe button down below. And I'll see you next time.